Everyone will know that we are currently experiencing a catastrophe in terms of biodiversity on a worldwide scale. A great number of species, whether found in our deserts, grasslands, jungles, or countryside, are becoming more vulnerable with each passing year due to the myriad of distinct and intricate dangers that are affecting a significant portion of our flora and fauna. The dangers that are threatening the polar bears, tigers, and rhinos of the globe are well known. Nevertheless, in this article from the People's Trust for Endangered Species spotlights 10 of the rarest species in the world that you might not have encountered before. These species, which range from one of the world's rarest snakes to Siamese crocodiles that sadly no longer exist in 99% of their former habitats, are just as essential as the famous ones. Number 10. Roach mouse-tailed dormouse. There have been numerous attempts made to locate further populations of Roach's mouse-tailed dormouse. Nevertheless, the only known occurrences of this species are in the southwestern region of Bulgaria. In Europe, it is one of the rodents that is the least well-known and the rarest. This habitat, which is still extremely prevalent in southeastern Europe, is characterized by open and semi-open environments with old trees and little agricultural activity. These dormice live in these environments. On the other hand, this habitat is coming under growing threat, either because it is being turned into land that is used for intensive agriculture, or because, if it is not farmed, it is being transformed into an enclosed forest. Due to the fact that they hibernate for a minimum of 6 months each year, these creatures are only active for the duration of time necessary to produce 1 litter of young each year. Number 9. Black and chestnut eagle. Mostly found in Africa and Eurasia, eagles are among the most recognizable animals in the world. Less than 250 individuals of the extremely rare black and chestnut eagle remain alive in the wild, making it one of the few species found in the Americas. These lords of the air, with their wingspan of approximately 2 meters, are among the largest raptors found in the Andes Massif. These birds, in addition to other birds, seek out medium-sized mammals like squirrels, opossums, and porcupines, and they live at high elevations in the montane forests that stretch from Colombia to Argentina. However, as towns grow in more remote areas, conflict emerges because eagles sometimes take chicks, which is a loss that the local farmers are unable to afford to lose. We are currently taking measures to resolve conflicts, ensuring peaceful coexistence between the birds and the local residents. Number 8. El Rincon stream frogs. A single plateau in Argentinian Patagonia is home to the El Rincon stream frog species. It is situated in the southernmost part of South America. These frogs are able to endure the bitterly cold winters because they spend their entire lives in areas with warm thermal streams. The frogs, which are classified as critically endangered, have been threatened by rainbow trout, which are aggressive and invasive in their environment, as well as by the encroachment of cattle into their natural habitat. Fixed obstacles, fencing, and reintroduction efforts are bringing this rare frog back to local streams, where it would have otherwise gone extinct. Number 7. Northern river terrapins. The Batagur basca, also known as the Northern River Terrapin, is one of the freshwater turtles that is considered to be among the most endangered in the world. As a result of excessive harvesting of adults and eggs for food, as well as sand mining and pollution, the population of these insects has significantly decreased in West Bengal and Odisha in India, where they were once found in abundance throughout the mangrove swamps, rivers, and estuaries. During an emergency search that took place in 2008, only 12 people were discovered to be alive in the forests of West Bengal. The foundation of a captive breeding population has been established by these terrapins. This population has successfully released the initial population back into the wild, and there are plans to develop further populations. Number 6. Dinagat moonrat. There are a great number of endemic species that can only be found on small islands. The Dinagat moonrat and the Dinagat hairy-tailed rat are 2 kinds of creatures that are extremely uncommon and may be found on Dinagat Island, which is located in the southern region of the Philippines. However, we are unable to locate a picture of these small mammals since they are so uncommon that we do not know how many of them are still alive on the small island. For this reason, urgent studies are currently being conducted in an effort to discover the surviving populations of the island and to put protective measures in place to ensure that their habitat is not lost. The mining industry threatens 50% of the island. Number 5. Hyrule antelope, which is considered to be the world's most endangered antelope species. There are only a few hundred hyruleas still living in the wild. During the 1970s, there were approximately 14,000 antelope roaming the plains of Kenya and Somalia. However, due to a succession of natural disasters, their population has been reduced to just 600 of these animals. This incredibly low number of hyruleas is primarily the result of habitat degradation, specifically a decrease in the grassland that they rely on for their survival. These changes in the landscape have been linked to multiple factors, including overgrazing, the extinction of elephants, the suppression of fires, and climate variability. These factors are worsened by the fact that the region is prone to violence and drought. Both the restoration and protection of the traditional grasslands that they rely on are now being worked on. Number 4. Albany adders. There is a species of dwarf adder known as the Albany adder, which is found in South Africa. This species is classified as critically endangered. This particular species is one of the world's rarest snakes, with only 17 recordings to its name. In addition to this, the only known location of theirs is in danger of being developed by open pit mining, wind turbines, and newly constructed roads. Surveying efforts are currently being conducted in an emergency situation in an effort to locate and protect other populations. The South African conservation authorities are requesting that the landowners of the areas where the snakes are found sign into stewardship agreements with them in order to ensure the adders continue protection over the long term. Number 3. Baween warty pigs. It is possible that there are just a few hundred Baween warty pigs, which are found on the island of Baween in Indonesia. There is a close relationship between them and the Javan warty pig. Nonetheless, they are truly a separate species that most likely diverged approximately 160,000 years ago. There is a significant issue with deforestation in Indonesia. In Baween, barely 10% of the natural forest is still present. As the pigs venture out of the protected confines of the forest in search of sustenance, they come into confrontation with people who consider them to be a nuisance. Work is being done to limit the amount of crop raiding that animals do while also promoting coexistence with the communities that are located nearby. Number 2. Golden langurs. The population of golden langurs in Bhutan has decreased by as much as 60%, and they are considered to be one of the 25 most endangered primates in the world. Assam, which is located in northern India, is home to the only other known population. The stunning contrast between their cream-colored fur, which glows gold when exposed to sunlight, and their entirely black hands and faces is breathtaking. The half-meter-long tails of these monkeys perfectly adapt them to living in the trees. Nevertheless, their forest homes are extremely dispersed, which means that roadkill poses a significant risk to them. Innovative wildlife-friendly bridges and land reforestation are bringing previously separated communities back together. Number 1. Siamese crocodiles. A significant portion of the mainland Southeast Asian region was originally home to the Siamese crocodile, which is now in a state of critical endangered status. It has been eradicated from 99% of its original range, and it is believed that the total number of mature Siamese crocodiles in the wild has decreased to an estimated 250. It was only because of the accidental rediscovery of a few individuals in the Cardamom Mountains of Cambodia that there is any conservation program in place today. The species was so uncommon that it was only discovered by mistake. These efforts are still being carried out in the same mountain range, which has been protected for around 400,000 hectares, in order to rescue the crocodiles. It is still one of the rarest reptiles in the world, and its population has shrunk to a small size as a result of habitat degradation brought on by the development of rice farming, ongoing poaching, unintentional entrapment in fishing gear, and the construction of hydroelectric dams. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and informative videos.